Hello everybody, I, Bhumika Vasyani, welcome you all to learn English with Saraswati Group of Education. In the previous sessions, we already had finished the explanation part, the grammar points learning part, and now we have come to an end to the chapter. In this session, we are going to talk about the textual exercises which are given at the end of the chapter. For that, you will need three things: your textbook, your English classwork book and your grammar book. Keep all the three things ready and sit for the session. Because in this session, we are going to discuss the exercises which are given at the end of the chapter. We are going to go question wise. I am going to guide you for each question, what will be the answers and how to write the things in your book. Okay? Individually, I have given instructions during the session that yes, you have to do this thing here, do this thing here, this question is to be written here. Like that way, all the things are mentioned. Okay? So please stay focused and listen carefully. This lecture is very important.
Children, we have already completed learning part of the chapter. Okay, we have completed with the explanation, we have completed with the grammar part. Now, it is time to solve the textual exercises which are given at the end of the chapter. So, this is the pic of page number 4, chapter 1 in your textbook. Okay. So, first question is fill in the blanks. Now, this question is just we have to write only one word, so you can write it in your textbook itself. So, keep your textbook and classwork notebook and grammar notebook, all three with you when we are going to do the textual exercises. So, as and when needed, I will keep on telling that which question is to be written where. Okay. So, for example, this A1, question A1, fill in the blanks is to be written in the textbook itself. So, please open page number 4. Okay. Now, the first blank is the poem is about dash that can be heard in the dash. So, as we know that the poem is about sounds that can be heard in the evening. Blank number 2, the clock makes a clicking noise. Clicking noise, that is already given in the poem. Number 3, the speaker can hear footsteps upon the top floor. That is also given in the poem. Number 4, the speaker also hears her father's laugh. Okay, so question number A1, fill in the blanks, page number 4, that is to be written in the textbook itself. And then question number A2, answer these questions that I have already written here in the instruction, that is to be done in classwork book. Okay. The question answers are to be written in classwork book. Now, how you are going to write the answer, what will be the answers, all those things you will get a PDF. Okay, seeing that PDF you can copy in your classwork book. Now, let us go to page number 5. Please open page number 5. Now, as we had studied onomatopoeic words, okay, this is about that. So, we are directly going to go to question number B2. That is again we are going to do it in the textbook itself. Okay, so be ready with your pencil and eraser. Let us read the instruction. Pick out the onomatopoeic words in these sentences. Circle them. Now, as you can see, let us read first sentence and then you can circle. The wooden floor creaked when the thief walked on it. Okay, so creaked is the onomatopoeic word, the word which describes sounds. Okay, so please circle creaked. Number 2, the bee was buzzing. Buzzing is the word which describe the sound. So we are going to circle that. Number 3, the snake raised its head and hissed. Now hissed is the onomatopoeic word, so we are going to circle that. Number 4, the dish fell down with a clatter. Clatter is the onomatopoeic sound, onomatopoeic word, the word which describes sound of the dish. So let us circle clatter. Number 5, the tires screeched when he pressed the brakes. Now here the word screeched is the onomatopoeic word which describes the sound. Okay. Now on page number 6 there is nothing which we can do in the textbook or which we have to write in the classwork book or grammar book. Okay. So we are skipping page number 6. Let us directly go to page number 7. Okay. Now on page number 7 we have to read the instruction which is given there. State what type of sentences these are. Now the answers of these can be written only in one word. So we can write the answers in the textbook itself. So be ready to write the answers. Page number 7. State what type of sentences these are. Number 1. The hooting of owls seems far away. Now this is a declarative sentence because it is providing us the information. Somebody is saying something, declaring something. Okay. So please write only one word, that is declarative. As I have written here, you can see and write. Number 2. Do cats meow in the evening? Now that has a question mark at the end. So here somebody is asking for some information. Somebody wants to find out something. So as it is having a question mark at the end, the type of sentence will be interrogative. So please write interrogative near the second number sentence. Number 3. Stop making so much noise. Now this is an order. And as you know, we have already learned that if we are going to make some request or we are going to get some order or give some order, then that type of sentence will be imperative sentence. So please write the word imperative near sentence number 3. Sentence number 4. Oh, how I love the sound of the clock. Now this is having an exclamation mark at the end, and the exclamatory word also you can see, the expressive word also you can see in the beginning of the sentence, that is oh. Okay. So this sentence number 4 is an exclamatory sentence. Please write the word exclamatory near sentence number 4. Now the next one, question number C2. Transform the given sentences as directed. Now here we will have to change the sentence and write the whole sentence again as per the instruction given in the bracket. For example, the first sentence is, can you hear sounds in the evening? Now this is interrogative sentence. But look into the bracket, it is written that you have to transform, you have to change the sentence into declarative sentence, the same sentence. So it will require a space to write the sentence properly. So this question number C2 is to be written in your grammar book. Okay. Question number C2, page number 7 is to be written in your grammar book. I have already written the instruction here to be done in grammar book. Okay. So please do all 4 sentences in your grammar book. Again, you will get the PDF for the same to copy in your grammar book. That answers are written over there. Okay. Now, let us go to page number 8. On page number 8, you can see question C4. Complete the phrases using appropriate collective nouns. Now, here a word box is given. Let us read all the words first. And as we have learned all the types of nouns, I hope you will be able to solve this and remember this. Okay? Let us read all the words which are collective nouns. Let us go one by one. Army, flock, family, school, pod, fleet. And as you can see, the first one is a family of 5. So that means there are 5 members in the family. Then a fleet of ships. Now there are many ships in the water. So that is fleet. A flock of sheep. This is sheep, the animal. S-H-I-P, ships means the thing which sail on water. A means of transport. Okay? Water transport. That is ships. And this is sheep. A flock of sheep. Then a pod of dolphins. When there are more than 2 or 3 dolphins, we can say a pod of dolphins. Okay? An army of ants. Here there are 2 words for ants, 2 collective nouns for ants. That is colony and army. Here army is given, so we will select army. But both are correct. Okay? Colony and army. Both are collective nouns for ants. Number 6. A school of fish. If there are many fish together, then we can say a school of fish. Okay? Collective noun for fish is school. Let us go to question C5. Fill in the blanks using appropriate abstract or material nouns. Now we have already learnt about abstract and material nouns just as collective nouns. Right? All 3 we have studied together. What is abstract noun? The noun which we cannot see, touch, hear, taste or smell. Okay? In short, our 5 senses are unable to detect that noun. Okay? And what is material noun? Material noun means material or substance from which things are made. That is material noun. Okay? Let us read the first one. Betty is full of excitement. Now, excitement, I had to write abstract noun. So that is excitement. Excitement I cannot see, I cannot touch, I cannot taste. Okay, I cannot smell, I cannot hear. So that is abstract noun. Number 2, dash dresses are comfortable in summer. Now you must be always aware about the seasons, that which type of dresses do we wear in which season, right? In summer we wear cotton dresses. So cotton is material noun. From which dresses are made? So cotton is material noun. As I said, we wear cotton dresses in summer, they are very comfortable, and we wear woolen clothes in winter, they are also very comfortable at that time, they keep us warm. Okay, so wool also is a material noun if it is winter given there. Okay, and we wear raincoats in rainy season. So raincoat is also made up of plastic. So plastic is material noun and raincoat is the thing which is made from that. Okay, let us see the third one. The Taj Mahal was built using marble. Now marble is a type of stone. Okay, marble is a type of stone, so that is material noun. Marble is a material noun from which the Taj Mahal was made. Number 4, honesty is the best policy. Now honesty is abstract noun. Okay, that is a quality which we cannot see, which we cannot touch, which we cannot eat, which we cannot taste, which we cannot smell. So honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the abstract noun. Number 5, they are making a lot of noise. Noise is also an abstract noun. In the same chapter, we had also done the activity of noise pollution. Do you remember that? This is the same thing, noise. Something which we can feel, that is unpleasant. Okay? So noise is abstract noun. Number 6, most furniture in our school is made of wood. Okay, wood is material noun from which things are made. Table, chair, desk. All the things of furniture mostly are made of wood. Now, let us go to question number 6, C6. Now, you have to say these words and you will have to find out that which letters from these words are silent, which letters are not pronounced. Say suppose the first word is knife. Knife. Okay. Now the spelling of knife is K-N-I-F-E. But we don't tell it knife. K sound is not pronounced. So letter K is silent in the word knife. Look at the second word, no. No. Again K is silent here. Okay. We don't say no. It is no. That means to know something. The third word is knock. Knock. Knock means when somebody knocks at the door. Okay. Again letter K. The first letter K is silent. It is not pronounced in the word. The next word is knob. Knob. Again the first letter K is silent. We don't pronounce knob. Not like that. It is knob. Knob means the part which is fixed in the door to lock the door. That is knob. Look at the next one. Night. Now you have to take care here. This night is not N-I-G-H-T night. It is K-N-I-G-H-T night. That means a warrior. Okay. But K is not pronounced here. We will always speak as night. But the spellings are different. K-N-I-G-H-T night means a warrior, the one who fights the wars. And N-I-G-H-T night means the night time, the part of the day which we are talking. Okay? Look at the next one. Calm. Calm. Calm means very cool, peaceful. Okay? But in this word also, L is not pronounced. L is silent. Okay? Next one. Calf. Calf. Now here also we don't pronounce it like calf. Okay? That is a wrong pronunciation. It is calf. Calf means the young one of a cow. Okay? L is silent here. The next word is half. It will be same pronounced as calf. L will be silent. Okay, we don't pronounce it as half. No, that is wrong. The next word is talk. talk. Now again in this word, L is silent, so we don't pronounce it like talk. That is the wrong pronunciation. We say talk. Talk means to speak something. The next word is walk. Walk. In that word also, letter L is silent. Okay? We don't pronounce it as walk. That is the wrong pronunciation. Okay? Let us go to page number 9. Okay, on page number 9, the things which we had to do is question F. Question F. Read the following words aloud. Notice how each set of word begins with the consonant sounds br, cr and dr. Now these are known as blends. Do you know about blends? When two letters come together and they create one sound, those are known as blends. Now here br is the first blend, cr is the second blend, dr is the third blend. Now the words related to those blends, some of the words are given here in the table and some of the words we will have to find out and fill up. Okay, let us go to the first part, first column, that is br, blends. Let us see which all words are given first. That is bring, br, bring, break and break. Now the first and the second and third words are different, children. The second word is break, B-R-A-K-E, break. Now this word means the brake which we have in our vehicles, which is used to stop the vehicle. And the third word, look at the spelling, there is a slight difference in the spelling. Third is B-R-E-A-K, break. That means to break something into pieces. Okay, but both of them start with the same blend. Break, break. Look at the next one, bright. Bright means whichever something is shining. Then brain, our body part. Okay, then breach. The next one, bring, brought, breeze. And if you want to change the word bring, if you don't want to repeat the word, then you can write brooch. Brooch. Okay, B-R-O-A-C-H, brooch. Let us go to the second part, second column, which has cr blends. Let us see. Cram, crane, crate, crash, crush. Now here again two similar type of words. They are not similar but they look similar. Crash and crush. There is a difference in the meaning of both the words. Okay, crash means two things crash together. We can say, for example, that the vehicles crash, okay, on its own. And crush means we crush ice for making ice lollies, right? Ice dishes. So we crush ice. Look at the next one, creak. That is the onomatopoeic word. Again creak, again crack and crick. All the four words which are put up here, they all four are onomatopoeic words. The words which describe sounds. Let us go through the next part, which has dr blends. Drive, drum, drain, drool. Now this is a very interesting word, children. Drool. Drool, you know when this word is used? When we are tempted very much to eat something. At that time, our mouth is filled with water. At that time, we can say that we are drooling. Okay? Then, drill. Drill means to repeat something over and over. That means drill. And one other thing is, when we use the equipment to put nail in the wall, that is also called drilling, drill, which makes that unpleasant sound. Drrrr. Okay. The next word is drove. Drove is the past tense of drive. Drought. Drought means when we do not have rain repeated years. Okay, that is drought. Drink, as you all know. Dream, that is also you all know. Now dream here means two types. Two parts of speech can be connected with the word dream. One is noun and one is verb. When we are talking about noun, dream means the dream which we had. Verb means when we are having a dream in our night sleep. Okay, so that means dream. Now let us go on page number 10. On page number 10, question G says that fill in the following table with your daily schedule. Now you have to fill up the things which you do daily according to the time. Say suppose for Monday I have filled it up. And this question you are going to do in your textbook itself. Okay? You have to write in your textbook as I have written. Now at 7 a.m. what do? I wake up. Okay? At 7:30 a.m. I get ready for going to school. At 8:30 in the morning I attend school. In the afternoon at 1:30 p.m. I return home from school. And after returning home, I just freshen up myself and at 2:30 p.m. I have lunch. After that, at 3:30 p.m. I take a nap. So from 3:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. I take a nap. What is taking a nap? Taking a nap means to have a short sleep. Okay, which we have during the day. That is a short sleep. That means take a nap. Now after 4:30 p.m. I complete my homework at 5:30 p.m. Okay? Don't look at me like that. Even teachers have homework, you know. Then at 6:30 p.m. I go to play. Yes, I also go to play. Now, being as a student, you have to write what do you do. Being a child, what do you do for the whole day? Okay. So yes, I can assume that you also must be going out at 6:30 p.m. to play with your friends. Okay. So I have written from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. go to play with friends. Okay. Now whatever is your schedule, you have to write that. At 8:30 p.m. I have dinner. Now according to a child, according to the children of your age, what is your schedule related to this? That you have to write with the help of your parents. You might not know that at which exact time you are doing all the things. Okay? But you can take the help of your parents here to know the time. You can ask your mama or daddy that at which time do I do this thing. Okay, they will help you to fill up the rest of the part of the table. And again I am saying that you have to fill up all these things in your textbook itself. Okay, so that is all for today. And as I said, the questions which you have to write in your classwork book or grammar book, for that the PDF will be sent. Do not worry about that. You can have a look at the PDF and you can copy in your books, whichever I have told in this video lecture. So which thing to write where, for that you will have to watch this video lecture again.
Along with this video lecture, you are going to get the PDF for which you will need the guidance how to write in classwork book. So I have mentioned all the things in the PDF. Okay? So you can just go through the PDF and you can copy the question answers in your English classwork book. And as per mentioned in the lecture itself, that certain questions which you have to write in your grammar book, how to write, how to go about that also will be mentioned in the PDF. And one more thing, with this lecture, you will also get one worksheet. But this worksheet is special. Why? Because whatever we have learned in chapter 1 will be, all the things will be there in chapter 1 worksheet. Okay, so this worksheet is important. If you are going to take the printout of this worksheet, then please preserve the printout. Keep it safely. Okay, after filling the answers, keep it safely. File it somewhere. And if you are going to copy the worksheet in your book, then copy it in your classwork book, because that will help you at the time of examination. It will help you to revise faster. Okay, if all the things are mentioned in one classwork book, or if all the things are kept in a file properly, all the printouts are kept, then it will help you to revise faster. Okay, so please write accordingly, according to the instruction. See you in the next lecture.